folks. This morning's soap is in a covered sugar dish. It is Conk's Bay Rum, and I got it whipped up here with a brush from Strike Gold Shave. Frank's fixed this one up for me. It's got the mentholated knot in it. It's a Minion brush. In other words, I switched things up a little bit for today's shave. I'm going to be using the Sanguine Coolcut number 9. It's got a Personna mini hair shaper blade in it. And yeah, I've got the alum block without the rubber band. You can see there's a little bit of the rubber band still stuck to the alum block there. Just a little bit left. It's still going to be, you got just maybe, what, I don't know, 3 more shaves left in there. Witch hazel, unscented, mentholated. Got the Conk's Bay Rum aftershave. Really like this aftershave. I'll put a link down below for a place to find some of this if you're interested. Off camera I'll be using the Shaven Sailor beard oil. And I've already put a hot towel to the face this morning, and my cube is getting smaller. That's all I've got left of it. I gave it some little bit of thought. I don't shave with my left hand, and since I don't shave with my left hand, if I shaved with my left hand, I could use the toe to outline on this side. But I got to thinking I could switch it up a little bit on that side and shave across the grain in order to get that line up over here. Got to thinking about it a little bit yesterday, trying to figure out how I can make this work a little bit easier for me. Using this shavette. I don't see very many people using this shavette, but and I kind of wonder sometimes if it has more to do with the price, because the if I can say this right, Monsieur Charles, I think it's changed hands name-wise a time or two. I know at one point in time I think it was under Personna, then I think it was under, might have been under Master Barber maybe, I'm not real sure. I think it's changed a time or two. I could be wrong. Maybe it's just who was selling it at the time. But it just seems like it's flopped around on who was selling it, what name it was under, who was manufacturing it. Yeah, that's what I'm getting at right there. I think it's changed a few times. Ownership. That happens from time to time. Well, I think I've got this worked up pretty good. Almost good enough to shave with. I have to say the cube does work up a pretty good lather. I have had this, I think that you could see what, 2-3 years? I'm trying to think. I've had this soap for a moment. Can't complain a bit about it either. I know some people don't particularly care for it. First thing that turns them off is that you can melt it and pour it into your favorite shaving mug. Some people don't particularly care for that sort of thing. It doesn't bother me. Works just fine for me. Especially since I put this in my covered sugar dish. I got both of them for Christmas from my parents. and I got the aftershave. There's a place in Tulsa that is called the Gadget Shop, and that's how I found the aftershave. And some buddies at work would found this place online, decided to go visit it during lunch one day, and he just happened, I think this was the only one, or he only had 2 aftershaves. I think this was the only one, if I remember right. And opened it up and smelled it. Just decided I had to have it. It was this scent is, in my opinion, is not your typical bay rum. And it's one of the reasons why I felt like I had to have it. It was not typical. I like it. It's a nice scent. All right, here we go. Go ahead and I think I'll do that on both sides. I think I'm going to go across the grain on both sides. Be good practice for me. In case you missed it in yesterday's video, I'll go ahead and mention it again. With this mini hair shaper blade, which is the same thing as a injector blade, you're definitely going to get a different shave feel with this blade. Than you will with the DE blade. It's still been pretty cold here. The low's been down in the teens. I think the low is supposed to have been near 20. I haven't checked it this morning. It wasn't tonight. This morning didn't seem quite as cold as it was yesterday morning. Yesterday morning felt pretty cold. This part here feels a little bit awkward for me. It really does. For some reason, I want to invert this whole thing. I really do. I want to turn it around and come around this direction with this thing. I'm not sure. This is something I have to work out in my head one day. I don't know why I have such a hard time across the grain when it gets close to this jawline. Not sure why. Just something that I have to work out in my head one day. I guess you might say the light bulb hasn't quite come on just yet. Maybe one day. Maybe. I've been able to work around it with the grain, with the jawline. We just tilted my head up. It moves the skin in a different way, so I don't have quite the need to continue on with that stroke right there. if you're wondering, I had signed up for an event a few days ago for a Bay Rum Day. So I'll continue on with the TFS soaps tomorrow. And didn't do too bad right through there. Tomorrow I'll continue on. Right through there though, I'll have to see if I catch that on the against the grain. Sometimes it's interesting if I get it just right through there. As it goes for how does this soap, it's a glycerin based soap. It does have a certain amount of creaminess to it. It's not really expensive. Depending on what size puck you get, it's right around the smaller puck, which I think is 2 1/4 ounces. Find it online for right around what, $4 I think it is, $3.95. Depends on where you get it. You know what I'm saying. You know, if you hunt for it, you'll find it various different prices. But losing some of my whiskers there. It's not a real expensive soap. But it does have a certain amount of creaminess to it. It's definitely slick enough to be able to shave with it with a shavette, in my opinion. I don't have an issue with it. I do whip it up on a wet side, like I do the most of my soaps. Drying my hands off. I have to say, when it comes to color though, this is a bright color. Definitely adds color to the shave. This blade definitely feels sharp compared to yesterday, so yeah, I know yesterday's blade had more than one shave on it. And you can kind of tell what I'm talking about. I don't have my heel. For me, that's still having a hard time negotiating that part there. I can still get the shave done without a problem, but for me, I'm so used to using that heel. I think I'd have to shave with this shaver for about a week to get really comfortable with it. You get past that part of not being able to use the heel. I think it was definitely made for somebody that uses both hands. Using both hands probably would make a world of difference with this shaver. That might be a lot of the problem right there. It's more of the operator than it is the shaver itself. Made for somebody that's using both hands. And that would make a big difference on how the outline of the hair around the face would make a big difference. Somebody that uses both hands. I just cannot trust that left hand. No way, no how. I'm trying to, I get the hand up there and I could already feel having trouble getting the angle. Just getting it up there, it's already so wobbly. It's like I just cannot get it to get that left hand to cooperate. In other words, just to get started, it's terrible. No, I guess you might say that's just not ever going to happen. Tried a few times and it's just too daggum shaky. It would be nice, especially on a shaver like this. Well, I don't feel, everything feels pretty good. I don't think I've got any rough spots. We'll see what the Allen block has to say. It felt pretty decent. The notorious spot down here, at one point I thought maybe I got it right about there. See if the Allen block has anything to say about it. Thought maybe I did. Now that spot there I think was from yesterday. I didn't even notice it until this morning. Just a little bit of stinging right there, so must not have got it too terribly bad for just a little bit of stinging. And there's my timer. Yep, it went pretty good this morning. Fresh blade that had been sitting in there for several months makes a world of difference on how the shave feels. Feels pretty good. Like I said, I just got the one spot there, and like I said, that one there, I think was from yesterday. Didn't even notice it until this morning. This has lasted for quite a while. 200 milliliters, I'm not sure how many ounces that is, and it says approximately on there. I have a hard time describing this aftershave, what makes it so much different than the rest of them, and maybe I'll open it up here in a moment. Maybe it has more to do with the, if I remember right, it's the lack of clothes. And this is per my nose. So, this is definitely your mileage may vary. Because I don't mind clothes. It doesn't bother me any. But for some folks, my nose, ask Manny. That was something else. There's a soap PAA Phoenix Artisan accoutrement has, and it's called Dorm. And per my nose, my wife, she liked it. But per Manny's nose, Dorm is not a favorable scent for his nose. It was funny. Per his nose, that scent is has a whole different meaning. Oh, I should say, when I got this, it comes with a plastic stopper in the top. I guess you might say it helps keep it fresh. I thought that was pretty cool. And I kept the plastic stopper in there. Takes a little bit of effort to get it out. It may have a little bit of a clove scent to it, but I don't feel like it's that heavy. I don't think it's that heavy, at least not per my nose. But I do like this bottle, and it is glass. I should mention also, that's all that hole is kind of big, so it's going to come out in a hurry. There's not a restrictor in there. Now with that plastic stopper being in there, if you wanted to, I may have to get a little bit more than that. If you wanted to poke a hole in it, make your own restrictor, if you will, you could do something like that. I don't see very many people using this aftershave. Sounds kind of funny making that noise. I really don't pick up that much of a clove. I'm not sure that it even has clove in it. If it's got clove, it's not much. I'm not even, and it might be from the witch hazel. I'm picking up a little bit of a menthol to it, and it's probably from the witch hazel. With this plastic stopper, don't know if you can see that. It's probably not too difficult to poke a hole in there if you want a restrictor, so that have something a little smaller than that for that, because that it does come out in a hurry. That way you don't have quite as much coming out. But this, I really like this Bay Rum aftershave. Italian Barber Black Bay. Now, I almost went with that this morning, but I haven't used this one in a while. That aftershave, that Bay Rum, that is a really nice Bay Rum aftershave. Really like that one. That's another one that it's just awesome. I had a great shave this morning. I have a lot of fun doing some of these, especially when it comes to Bay Rum. I have this one here, and Italian Barber's Black Bay. It whips up green, besides the fact that I really enjoy the scent. I have a lot of fun doing these shaves. Hope everybody's doing well. Stay safe. Smooth shaves to you, and I'll see you tomorrow.